What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? This was the question lingering in the air as the LA Galaxy faced the Seattle Sounders in the MLS Western Conference Final on Saturday. With the game tied 0-0, it seemed that the Sounders' impenetrable defense, having allowed the fewest goals in the league this season, would hold firm. But in the 86th minute, Dejan Joveljic struck, sending the Galaxy to a 1-0 victory. So, how did the Galaxy break through that wall of defense? And what made this win so historic for LA? The Galaxy, known for their potent attacking power, and the Sounders, who boasted the league's best defense, seemed to be on a collision course destined to test one another's limits. And when the final whistle blew, the Galaxy had done it. The 1-0 scoreline was more than just a victory, it was the culmination of an incredible turnaround. After a disappointing 2023 season, which saw them finish near the bottom of the standings, the Galaxy's 1-0 win over Seattle earned them a spot in the MLS Cup final against the New York Red Bulls next Saturday. Now, here's where things get even more fascinating. How did a team that was near the basement of the standings last year make such a dramatic comeback? And what does this victory mean for their quest for the MLS Cup? The answers lie in their resilience, strategic adjustments, and a performance that embodied the heart of their 2023 turnaround. But let's dig deeper into that, because there's a lot more to this story. When Galaxy coach Greg Van Ney spoke about the team's win, he highlighted the qualities that defined their effort: resilience, patience, and the ability to control the game even when it seemed like things weren't going perfectly. And, in this case, not perfect meant going up against the best defensive team in the league, one that had been nearly impossible to break down all season long. But the Galaxy did what they had to do, taking advantage of a critical moment in the game to earn that all-important goal. And that moment came in the 86th minute, when a turnover near midfield by the Sounders gave the Galaxy a lightning-fast counterattack. Substitute Mark Delgado picked up the ball, passed it to playmaker Ricky Puig, who threaded a perfect ball through to Dejan Joveljic. With a defender trailing him, Joveljic didn't hesitate. He took a right-footed shot from the top of the box that deflected off Sounders keeper Stefan Fries's hand, but it was too powerful, finding the back of the net for the only goal of the match. For Joveljic, it was more than just another goal. "This is maybe the most important goal of my career," he said after the game. His decision to shoot with only 60% power wasn't just about precision, it was about playing the angles and anticipating the goalkeeper's movement. It was a calculated, confident strike that capped a performance that could be a defining moment for the team. But this victory wasn't without its cost. Ricky Puig, who had been a key part of the Galaxy's attack, limped off the field after the game, visibly upset. Van Ney didn't have much information on Puig's injury, but the coach and players gathered around the young star, hoping for the best. Despite the concern over Puig's condition, the team's overall mentality remained focused on their ultimate goal, winning the MLS Cup. This win was also a testament to the unshakable resolve of goalkeeper John McCarthy, who was called into action to keep Seattle off the scoreboard. McCarthy made 4 critical saves, including a vital one on Jordan Morris in the 35th minute. His efforts were instrumental in the Galaxy's victory, and the 32-year-old goalkeeper, who had spent the last 2 seasons with LAFC, was determined to make an impact in this game. For McCarthy, the win took on even more personal significance. Just days before the match, he had welcomed a daughter into the world, and his determination to perform in front of his family was palpable. After the match, McCarthy reflected on the importance of teamwork, saying, "Not one player is going to win this game. It's a true team effort." The Galaxy's victory over the Sounders didn't just mark a historic achievement for the team. It also put them in a position to rewrite the story of their season. This wasn't a team expected to make it this far. A year ago, the Galaxy finished 13th in the conference, having won just 8 games. This season, however, they finished with 19 wins, matching a franchise record, and secured a spot in the MLS Cup final for the first time in a decade. When the final whistle blew, Galaxy players rushed onto the field, celebrating not just the win, but the journey they had been on to get to this point. It was a celebration of overcoming adversity, of a team coming together against all odds. And while the Western Conference trophy was handed to Galaxy captain Maya Yoshida in front of a roaring crowd, the players knew that the real prize still awaited them. For the Sounders, it was a tough loss. Seattle had been dominant in the postseason, conceding just 2 goals in 3 games, but the Galaxy had outlasted them in a game that was as much about mental fortitude as it was about tactical execution. In the end, the Galaxy's patience and resilience paid off in the most dramatic of ways. And now, with the MLS Cup final just around the corner, the Galaxy will have one more chance to make history. The New York Red Bulls await, after their own victory over Orlando City. But for the Galaxy, the journey to this point has been nothing short of remarkable. Whether they can clinch the MLS Cup remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, this team has already surpassed expectations, and they're ready to go even further. Now, before we go, if you're a true Galaxy fan, it's time to show your support. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Galaxy family as we continue to follow their incredible journey all the way to the MLS Cup. And don't forget, we'll be back next week with full coverage of the final, where the LA Galaxy look to claim their 5th MLS Cup title. Stay tuned and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest Galaxy news and highlights.